to Candid Conversation Zoomed In and Comments video channel. My name is Cliff, and we're doing another Zoomed In here. And today I have on the show with me Chris Lovell, a music artist, a pop singer. Um, and Chris, I want to say thank you very much for taking the time to do a conversation with us regarding what you do. Appreciate you coming in here on Zoomed In.
All right,
So
thank you too.
So, you've been around in music for quite a long time, haven't you? I believe you started at a very young age. How did you get to where you are right now?
So I started as a sync licensing musician. For those that don't know, sync licensing is when you're making music or soundtracks for movies and content. So I started out making soundtracks, but recently I've switched to making normal music.
I see.
So I
Okay.
was discovered by Kenan. Yeah, I was discovered by Kenan Lake on LinkedIn. I had like 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. So he reached out and he wanted to work with me. So then I started the journey of being a freelancing musician like that. And then I decided to quit. Now I'm making my own music.
You're making your own music now. Are you signed to a particular label at the moment, or are you an independent artist?
So currently I'm with MN2S. MN2S. Uh, they're acting like my label and my management. So I'm currently with MN2S. So cause I'm new, I have this song called Tame Me about to release on May 31st. So I'll basically see how it goes. But for the most part, I was making soundtracks, so music in movies and content. Yeah.
What in your mind is the difference between the two, between music that is made for a movie versus quote regular music?
So the difference is soundtracks are basically made on a commission or when like a film or a movie wants music to use in their movie. They basically hire these people called composers or sync licensing musicians. So they make music and then it gets played. But non-music is more of the artist's personal work, you say, because you're not making music for something. You're making music that resonates with you and the particular person, the people you want to reach, the friends. So that's it's all about creativity and uniqueness.
Uh,
Soundtracks are not unique.
mhm.
Yeah.
So it's really like you say, it's a commissioned kind of music. So a producer of a movie or director may come to you and say, "Hey, we need the score for for this particular movie," and you develop that. Was there a particular genre of movie that you worked um, in, as like horror or science fiction? Was there a specific type of soundtrack that you would develop for movies?
So the thing with me is I've always leaned towards pop music, R&B and dance music. Even when I was making, soundtracks, I always lean towards the mainstream, you know, contemporary music. I didn't really make like orchestral music or classical music. It was mainly pop.
How hard is it to do that kind of music? What do you think is the most difficult thing as far as creating a soundtrack for a movie? Where do you find, or what did you find was the most difficult or most challenging thing for that?
So the most challenging thing is it's actually a bunch of things. There's the deadline because when they commission you, they tell you to like make a song in like 2 days. You know, that's if you're a creative guy or a creative person, that you may find that really expensive and and challenging. The second thing is you're not actually making music you want to make. Like they're telling you to make like so we have this movie and we want orchestral infused with EDM, so you gotta make an orchestral EDM song. And then you find yourself, if you only make EDM, you find yourself making other genres, or at least fusing them. The third thing is the pay. The pay, you do not get paid a lot. I've heard stories of musicians quitting because they didn't get paid a lot. So those are the main three.
And yet you got into this because obviously you wanted to see what you could do and how you could get moving forward as far as getting into music industry and such. What prompted you to go forward and start doing this? What got you interested in creating music and in particular doing soundtracks?
So when I first of all, when I was starting, I made this song called "Lose My Cool." It was my first ever song, my first like ever song. And then I put it out. And then this guy called Babag, he's a TikToker. He's one of the most well-known TikTokers in Asia. He reached out and he told me that he wanted to have the song as his official soundtrack. So I gave it to him. Gave it to him, and then he basically paid me not quite a lot, but uh, when he paid me, I thought to myself, like, maybe this is something I could turn into a career. So I started digging into more of it, and I I was on LinkedIn, and then people started talking about me because of Babak. He has like 3 million followers. So when it became his soundtrack, people started talking about me. And then I grew my following on LinkedIn. I had like 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. This guy called Kenan Lake, he was the ex executive of synchronizing at Warner Music. He reached out and then told me that he wanted to work with me. Then started working with him.
That must have really blown your mind. How did what did that feel like
Yeah,
getting yeah, getting that kind of contact?
I was on cloud nine. I was high,
I
but
bet.
yeah,
And
it was really great.
yeah, I bet it was. Are you still actually working with these particular labels, or are you more or less now sort of getting away from making music for movies?
So right now, I'm working with MN2S. That was like 1 year ago when I was working with Canon Lake. It was like 1 year ago. So right now with MN2S because I pulled away from simplicity. Now I'm making my original music.
I see. Okay. Um, I'm sure, a lot of people want to get into this kind of work. What would you say is the most important step to getting into any kind of music, whether it's EDM or whether it's orchestral or doing soundtracks or even creating your own material? What would you say to somebody wanting to start out with regard to this kind of activity? What would you tell them?
So first of all, the synchronizing the thing that counts. is is how much work you can put out in what kind of time, in what duration. So if you can make 100 songs in a month, 100 instrumentals, not necessarily songs, but instrumentals in a month, you're like way ahead of the game, way ahead of the game. So it, it, it's all about numbers in the shortest period of time. It's not really about creativity. It's not really about uniqueness. It's not really about having the greatest song. No, it's about the number of tracks put out. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's it. So you're constantly having to create material. Do you find that very challenging to keep that going? Like, have you ever come across a time or a period of time where it's like, gee, I can't seem to get in the groove with this, or is it usually uh, pretty much pretty steady for you? How do you find that as far as your own creativity? Have you ever had those points where it's like, well, okay, what do I do next? Versus this is continuing to progress. I'm making music on a regular basis. Or is it in the middle?
So I've definitely had times where I question everything. So yeah, I've had times where I was like, man, okay, now there's this company. I mean, when I was with Warner, I had the gig that required me to make 100 songs in 2 months. It's a
That's
lot.
hot.
So
Yeah.
it was definitely challenging. It was definitely challenging. I was not alone, but it was definitely challenging. Cannot get so that's part of the reason I decided to quit sync licensing. Not necessarily because I was bad at it or because of anything, but the deadlines, the the lack of the lack of creativity and uniqueness, things like that.
Yeah, that's another thing too, right? A lot of times, I would think, particularly with soundtracks or in the modern era of music, a lot of record labels are looking for sort of cookie cutter um, tunes, so to speak. Do you find that that's the case?
Um, yeah, it's the case. The case. Of course they are because um, they really care about what the audience wants, and the audience generally likes cookie cutter music.
Mhm. So yeah, so sometimes yeah, I've noticed that. Like, do you get one type of music or one artist that does one thing and everybody tries to copy that particular artist? Like, for example, K-pop or bands like Aqua come out with something and everybody else starts to jump on that bandwagon. Do you feel like sometimes you have to do that to get where you want to go?
Um, I mean, you can, especially in this world of Spotify and fast food music. But I don't think I don't think people are going to stick for you for the longest. If you're making music that sounds like everybody, you're probably going to get fans, but not actually fans. Probably listeners. You're going to, you know, max out our listeners. You're not going to get fans like those how fans that actually want to know more about you, want to you know, to hear more of you.
Mhm. So basically what you're saying is, yeah, okay, you'll be somewhat successful, but it's better to be authentic. Is that what you're trying to get across?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes. And obviously that's gonna be something that you want to keep doing throughout your music career is just to have authentic music that basically says this is my sound. Um, Have you have you come to that point where you've developed, quote, your sound?
So, kind of, but I'm still experimenting with different things and different tools, different layers, different things. But slowly by slowly, I definitely get there. Yeah.
And is there a particular music genre that you really want to dive into? I know you've dealt with various types of music, but what's your favorite genre to work in?
So R&B and EDM,
Ah,
those
so
two.
you like the jazz and the electronica. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If people want to reach out to you and basically get your music on their movies or just find out about how how they can get your music, where would they turn to? Where would people get information about you and your music?
So professionally, they will be required to email MN2S and tell them and sort everything out. Yeah.
Okay, pretty good. Excellent. Well, and I realize it's late in your part of the world. You're in the UK, so I just wanted to have this chat basically with you because I found it very interesting that you reached out, and I really appreciated hearing from you. And I think that you got some excellent future ahead of you with regard to this. I hope that you have much success, and I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time in your day to speak with us.
All right. Thank you too to have me on Zoomed in, heavy conversations. You know, it's a great podcast, and I really appreciate what you do for merging people and successful people as well. You know, give them this platform to speak their mind and be authentic about.
Perfect. Well, we're going to get this up on our channel soon, and people, if you want to get in touch with Chris, look him up on the website. I'll make sure all the links for him are in my show notes so that you can get an idea of where to reach out. And if you're a movie producer, you may want to hire him to, produce your music, and of course, even for TV shows and whatnot. Chris, again, thanks very much for taking the time out. And for
So
everybody else,
another thing, another thing. Um, I also have a song called "Tame Me." You can check it out very soon, May 31st.
awesome. Yes, definitely. I'll make sure to promote that and appreciate your time today. Thanks again for dropping in, and thanks again to everybody for dropping in and seeing another edition of Zoomed In on Candid Conversation, Zoomed In and Comments video channel. I will see you in the next episode. Thanks again. I really appreciate all of you dropping in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll see you in the next episode.